It is day 4 with Denny using the Kula Lunge Training System. Now, technically Denny is actually ready to get on, but I like horses to be as comfortable as possible before I get on them. We're in no hurry to progress Denny's training any quicker than it needs to go. So I find it easier just to take my time, spend a little bit more time on the ground with them and make them a little bit more comfortable and more balanced, and then that will transfer through to under saddle. As you can see, Denny's accepting the contact a lot more today. He's more relaxed. That is flies. That's not him misbehaving. There were some nasty flies around when we were training. I'm actually a little late posting this video because of circumstances. I'm just doing a little adjustment of the side reins. So never be worried about stopping and adjusting in a session. I often adjust 2 to 3 times in a session. It just depends on how the horse is going. I really need to get my pivot working, or get a new pivot, because it's much easier talking while I am training the horse rather than doing a voiceover afterwards. In today's scenario, the wind would have been too strong and taken my voice away without ear pods, which aren't working with my iPhone. Now you have to excuse our very lame baby boxer. She is now fine, but at the time, we actually discovered she had a cut under her foot, which is why she was lame. So today's session, I'm just concentrating on keeping Denny straight. Now, straight on the circle means his body from pole to tail is following that continuous curved line. It's good boy, and he's nice and relaxed. Mika is always very helpful when it comes to lunging and long reining the horses by attaching herself to the lunge whip and sometimes chasing it. That's a good transition to trot. Yeah, I find if I drop the lunge whip, she gives up and leaves it alone, even though I've been expressly trained never to leave the lunge whip on the ground. I have to make certain exceptions when there's a boxer dog attached to the end of it. So that's a good rhythmical trot. He's nice and relaxed. Mika. All of our horses are trained to deal with the dogs. As you can see, I'm keeping today's session quite low key. We're just doing some transitions on the circle with the help of baby boxer, of course. Clearly I've trained him too well already. He stops to poo, which does, as I said, make it easy to pick up the manure in the arena, but it's probably not the best habit to get into. It's a little quicker than I would prefer. That neck could be a little bit straighter. Better. You can hear me just steadying him there. I'm not making a big deal out of it. I just want him to slow that rhythm a gear so he stays balanced. That's a much better rhythm and tempo now. So just as I would under saddle, I want to be able to steady the trot and send the trot on. And Satan's daughter is Mika, if you could hear that in the background. Good transition down. Oh my goodness, there's a bit of wind. Okay, good rhythm on this side. I think for today's session I decided to warm him up on both sides before asking for canter, making sure he's listening to me. And also just to change things up so we don't have that same routine every day. I mean, this is only session number 4, as I said, but the more varied you can have your training, the better. So I generally like to try and swap sides that I start on as well. Of course, when I'm working multiple horses, that's not always the case. And then with ridden horses in between. Good transition. Okay, so we're slight reorganized and we're going back the other way. Good boy. So his canter's still a little hurried and a little flat for my liking, but we can develop that. It's getting better with each session. I just did a little gear readjustment and changed direction, so I cut that out because it was boring. And now we're back on the left rein, still with flies. And a helpful baby boxer in the middle of the circle. So he hasn't quite got the voice aids to canter yet, but it's session number 4 with the Kula Lunge Training System. It's, like I said, I'm not entirely sure this horse is, well, he's been long-reined, clearly, but not potentially with actual voice commands. And even if they were voice commands, that would have been a very long time ago. He is the kind, coming from the kind of background where you maybe give him a little walk around and you get on and you go. It doesn't matter how long he's been out of work for. So he's having a little bit of trouble maintaining the canter on this side, but it isn't looking as rushed. So now it's a matter of keeping the canter and not having him charging around. And there is some wind in the background. That's better. Just keeping the canter for longer. There's a good transition down. Good rhythm. So that does conclude our long reining session with Denny using the Kula Lunge Training System today. I am just going to do a little bit of in-hand work with him to cool him off. So I'm going to leave the video running. And so I do this in-hand work just to ensure that he's paying attention, he's with me, he's following my aids, following my body language, and it's just another way that we can warm the horse down rather than just walking him around in circles. Oh, and it adds some variety to our work and it's fun. So thank you for watching this video. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to our channel, Kula Lunge Training System. Thank you.